All right, we're live on YouTube, and I'm going to be going live in 2 places today. So let me get going live on Instagram too. I wanted to try to go live on TikTok, but I can't figure out how to do it. I'm like never on TikTok. I'm going to try to start being on TikTok a little bit more to see if I get any reach there, but I'm not as of right now. So, all right, so YouTube's going. Let's get Instagram going. Oh, I have to go to live. Okay. Hello. I would say good morning. It's not really morning anymore. It's afternoon, I guess. I am going live on Instagram and on my YouTube channel this morning. So if you're joining me live, say hello in the chat. Tell me where you're joining from. I decided to start going live in 2 places simultaneously, one from my phone and one from the computer. I've been going live on YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually at 11 a.m. Sometimes I can't get on here at 11 a.m. Like today, my daughter Grace had an orthodontist appointment. So I'm doing it at 1 instead. So I've been driving all over creation all morning. But I'm finding a lot more people tune into Instagram Live than tune into YouTube Live. And I think that's just because more of my audience hangs out on Instagram. Hi, guys. I already see everybody joining on Instagram. Say hi in the comments. And if you're on YouTube, one of my very quiet channel, say hi on YouTube too. In the chat, tell me where you're joining from. So I've been going live on YouTube, and then recently I was on a coaching call with somebody in my membership group. I have a small online membership group, which is just a monthly membership where we do monthly coaching calls and talk about a lot of the stuff I talk about here on these lives as well. And she was saying, why don't you just go live on TikTok? But I just went in there today to try to do that. And I haven't been using TikTok for so long that I have no idea what I'm doing. So I just decided to go with old trusty Instagram, because that's what I'm a little more familiar with. So in today's live, I'm going to be talking about a couple of things. I wanted to update you guys with some of my recent art and my ornaments, my hand-painted ornaments. You can actually see them on the YouTube. They're hanging right behind me right here. But if you're on Instagram, you probably can't see them. Let me grab a couple. So last year, I started creating hand-painted ornaments. And I started them in November, and I created a whole batch of them. I posted them online and they sold out. Hi, Elise. And I thought I just saw Trevor too. Hi, Claudia. I posted them right around Thanksgiving, and I sold out of them all within 24 hours, which was awesome and really fun. And then I was like a crazy person trying to fulfill everything and ship everything because it was so close to Christmas. So this year I decided to start them way earlier. And then I had an opportunity last week to do a local event, and I brought a bunch of my artwork and ornaments to that. So then I was cramming in September to get a whole lot done. So I have a lot of ornaments ready to go, and then I still have to finish the designs, get them all photographed, and then I'll be releasing them publicly on HeidiHopeArt.com. You can actually go pre-order them if you want to look at last year's designs. You could pre-order, and then I'll get in touch with you, and you can pick your final design once you see the 2025 designs. They're all limited edition. Here's a couple other ones. This one, I think I'm changing the ribbon on this one. I'm not a huge fan of it, but this one's called Low Country. So it's this kind of tropical tidal marsh inspired design. And then I have a ton of prints too, especially if you guys are local. These are such good gift ideas for people that you don't know what the heck to get them. This is one of the, I can take it out. These are just prints. This is one that's really popular of the Bridge Lions here in downtown St. Augustine. And then I've been commissioned lately to paint a lot of churches. So I started painting churches with a church for my mom. Are you on right now, Mom? She's my church commissioner. She commissioned me to paint a church in Athens that they loved after a trip to Greece. My stepfather's Greek, and she converted to Greek Orthodox when they got married. And so they loved this church, and I painted it for them as a Christmas gift. And then I painted a church, and I don't have a copy of it. I painted the Basilica in downtown St. Augustine, which is one of the I think it's the oldest Catholic parish in the country. And then I was just at this event and somebody else was mentioning they maybe would want me to paint a church that they got married in. And I find the churches, I know people have a lot of like sentimental attachment, whether they got married there and they want it as an anniversary gift, or it's a parish that they grew up in. So I do want to paint the one that I grew up in, which was St. Peter's Church in Warwick, Rhode Island. But the other thing I did, because I'm into when I paint, if I'm painting beaches or like local landscapes, I like to incorporate sand into the acrylic paint as like a textural element. But I feel like it's actually like incorporating a piece of the place of the beach into the artwork. And I really believe in like the energy of that being brought into your home, and that it makes it something even more special. And so I was like, well, if I'm doing these watercolors of churches, I should really add a few drops of holy water into the water that I'm painting the churches with as like a little blessing, because I think that energy transfer is very real, and your intention as an artist gets transferred into the paintings and it makes it more powerful. So I ordered holy water from the River Jordan, and I'm going to be putting a few drops of it into the water that I paint with when I paint the commissioned churches. And if you've ever I'm like really kind of a geek for where science and spirituality meet. And there's a lot of information on the power of water and water holding consciousness. There's all the work of water with Emoto, I think was his last name, who was a Japanese scientist who studied crystallization of water patterns, and how water responds to like different music and different words, like the word love versus the word hate, and how different crystal patterns form. And then there's another woman on Instagram who I love following. I'll share her Instagram after this. Is it like Vesuvian water or something like that? She begins with a V. If anybody knows it, you can put it down in the comments. Hi to Argentina. Thanks for being here. So anyways, those are kind of the projects that I'm working on and my crazy mind and where it goes. But I also have a lot of originals that I haven't even released yet. Some of them are behind me here. So I've just got to get them photographed and up in the next couple of weeks. So those will all be up for Christmas shopping. So that's good. Another thing I wanted to share was an exercise that came up in my last coaching call that is something that I've been doing. And one of the women in my program was like, that's a really good idea. I should do that too, or we should all do that. So I made it like a September activity for anybody who's in the She's Gone Free membership. You can find that information on HeidiHopeLearning.com if you want to join us. It's a low monthly membership fee with coaching calls. And then we just share all this stuff that I talk about here on Miracle Mornings with each other. And it's a lot of science meets woo. So I'm really fascinated with studying the brain and neuroscience and quantum physics, and then like how that all relates to our biology, our health, our mindset, what we're able to create as powerful creators in our world. So anyways, this activity, and I recommend all of you try it. I don't know if you've ever done future visioning. In fact, I have a free download that was like a visualization practice where I guide you through visualization, and then you write down everything that you visualized afterwards. I'll link to that under this video too, once it's done. And I can actually put that in my link in bio too on Instagram if you're looking for it. But that's a good practice. Another practice, this is like future writing your story. And it's really powerful because it allows you to get into the emotional state of whatever it is that you want to achieve. It allows you to get into the emotional state of having already achieved that. And of course, as humans, like our nature is to always create and expand and to like get to the next level wherever you are. Like you're never going to want to, when you stop expanding, you're dead. Like it's while you're here, your purpose is to expand and create. So this allows you to get into the energy of having already created. And that's the most powerful, like gratitude's one of the most powerful emotions to create out of, because gratitude is the energy of it has already happened. And there's even lines in the Bible that allude to this, like Mark, I think it's 11:24. And if you read that passage, it's really about like it's having pure faith that it's already happened, having pure faith that it's already been achieved. So in this exercise, that's what you're doing. You're imagining, and in it, I think it allows you to be like a little bit, dream a little bigger. because you're writing it almost as fictional, but it allows you to really get into that energy. So basically, you're going to sit down with a piece of paper. I like writing on paper better, but you could also do your laptop or even like a notes app on your phone. And you're going to start writing the first chapter of the new book, a book that you're publishing, your memoir. You're going to write the first chapter of it as if the goal achieved has just happened. So you're going to write out, and you can write for as long as you want. You can set a timer for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. You can keep adding to it day after day, but you're basically going to tell the story of how everything you wanted to happen came to be. Everything that you wanted to create, you've already created it. Everything, whether it's in your relationship or your health or the house that you want to live in or whatever, you're going to tell it in detail as if you're an author writing it and really trying to bring people into the scene and really trying to get people to feel the emotions that you feel as the author of the story. So give it a try. You can practice it. It can be part of your daily practice, like a few minutes every morning, or you can give yourself like an hour and sit down and just do the whole exercise out. But it's basically writing a chapter of your story as if the thing that you want to occur has already happened. And you're going to describe it in great detail. You should be using all of your senses and really feeling into the story and whatever you would feel, the imagined, anything that we want to achieve in life, we only want to achieve it because of how we think we're going to feel when we achieve it. So what is that feeling that you get with a desired outcome? And can you be really descriptive of that in your storytelling to get you to feel it? And the more you practice feeling that internally, your body doesn't know the difference between it actually happening. Your brain and your body don't know the difference between it actually happening or just imagining it happening. They're going to have the same biological response to the emotions that are brought up within you. So if you can imagine the thing with joy, if you can imagine it with gratitude, if you can imagine it with a victorious feeling, anything, and whatever those feelings that you want to feel in the end are, if you can tell the story and bring up those emotions within yourself. And in this exercise, you're getting a reader to feel those emotions too, although nobody ever has to read it. It's just part of the exercise. So you're kind of like tricking your brain into experiencing the outcome achieved and practicing that on a regular basis, because your biology of your body starts to respond to that, and that just is who you become. So you could actually become all the things that you want to become before the goal is even achieved. And then that's usually when the goal is achieved, because it almost doesn't even matter anymore that the external thing happens, because the internal has already changed so much. And then that's when the external thing does happen. So give that exercise a try. I wanted to share that one with you today. Other updates are you can join if you use the code YouTube. If you go to HeidiHopeLearning.com, that's where all my courses are. I'm still going to be releasing a lot of my old photography stuff. Like I just have thousands of hours of lessons that are all recorded. I'm going to be releasing those little by little on my YouTube channel. If you want to learn about photography and photography business, I have a wealth of information on that I will be kind of trickling out on YouTube. But if you just want it like a shortcut and you don't want to wait around for that stuff, you can go to HeidiHopeLearning.com. And there's all sorts of courses from like beginner digital photography, which is great for like anyone, I would say age like 12 and up would be able to get that. It's learning manual, like how to work a camera, manual modes, talks about lenses and all the specs of a camera, understanding all the technical stuff. And then there's business stuff, and there's my coaching membership over there too. But it's 50% off any of those. So you just go use the code YouTube and sign up for any of those courses. And you get 50% off of those. And then ornaments, I'm hoping by the end of the week. I wish you could, wait, actually, well, you can see them on YouTube, but let me turn the camera a little bit so you can see. Those are some of the ornaments, the hand-painted ornaments that I'm making. They're all limited edition for 2026. So those, maybe the end of this week, maybe the beginning of next week. I have to, it's not, painting them does take a long time, but it's not just painting them. It's like then taking all the photography and then getting them all listed on the website, yada, 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 the boring stuff. I just want to paint. And then some new originals too. Actually, one of my favorite paintings I've ever done is still available as an original. It's a big one, and I'll be posting that next week too. So any questions or anybody in the chat? Hi, Julie. Yay. Somebody's on YouTube. I'm like waving down to you in the chat down there. not to the camera. Glad you're here. I just shared our exercise for September, writing the story as if it's already occurred. So if you didn't catch that, if you're just joining live now, go back and you can catch the whole exercise. It's something I highly recommend you do. I'm doing it in my own life. I see we've been practicing this type of stuff for, I'm trying to think, when was the first time I ran Unbound, which was like an 8-week course. That's all this type of work. I think it was in 2020 or 2021. And so I've had this group of women that we've been working together for the past 5 years. And it's pretty incredible to see all of the amazing things that they're able to bring into their lives by some simple daily practices and mindset shifts. And yeah, it's just pretty inspiring, awe-inspiring. Hi, Jennifer. Yay, you're here too. Yay. We've got 2 people on YouTube. Yes. We'll grow. So Julie, I tried to go on TikTok. I can't figure it out. I don't know. It's that, I hit the plus, I went to create, and then it said like, you should see live in your options. And I don't have live in my options. So maybe I need to update my TikTok. I'm like I just really never got into it. So I have a lot to learn over there, but it seems similar enough to Instagram. It's just not exactly the same. So I couldn't find the live option. So I'm on Instagram instead. I will be moving it over to TikTok as soon as I can figure out how, though. So if you're on YouTube or Instagram and you like to hang out on TikTok, you can go find me there. I'm Heidi Hope. And I think it says like Heidi Hope, artist, creator. All I know, when I first started TikTok, I like royally messed up because I started different accounts from different, like connected to other different accounts. And I got locked out of some of them. I couldn't get back in. So I am on there. I just have to get my act together and clean things up. All right. Well, the other thing I want to talk about today, I guess, sort of, I mean, you've probably been hearing a lot of it if you follow, astrology and all that stuff, but there were 2 big eclipses this month. One hasn't happened yet. One was the blood moon lunar eclipse, which was last week. Eclipses bring time of dramatic shifts, changes, and endings of things. And so we're kind of in between 2 big ones. There's another one coming up on September 21st. And so just in general, it's a very, it can be a very surprising energy, erratic energy. It can be intense. It can be like your emotions, mood swings, maybe kind of intense, especially the lunar one related to the moon. As you know, full moons are an emotionally heightened time anyways. Moons affect water. Our bodies are mostly made of water. You can see statistically like emergency room visits go up and more women go into labor and all those types of things. So just knowing that it's a time of great change and like letting yourself just observe things. Don't have like knee-jerk reactions to things. I guess that would be my advice. Don't have knee-jerk reactions. Try to just be an observer and kind of collect information. A lot of stuff isn't what it appears as at first, and more information comes out later. So trying to ground yourself, ground your energy. We know grounding, go outside, put your bare feet in the grass, spending more time in reflection or meditation. And I know you're all watching on social media right now, so thanks for being here, but also turning off, it can be information overload. Like, I feel like the news feeds are just going a mile a minute. So unplugging from that, like consciously, it sucks you in. It's very addictive, and it is, you have to have discipline with yourself to like turn it off and get away from it and do things that bring you joy, like getting outside, exercising, gardening, cooking, like things that make your hands busy, things that bring you into the present moment. What are the things that you can do that can bring you back into the present moment and not have your attention, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. So the more attention you're giving anything external to you, the less energy you have to create and to take care of yourself, to heal within your body, all that type of stuff. So that's my advice for eclipse period. If you're just joining now, say hi in the comments. I will leave this one up on Instagram. I'm going to leave this one up on YouTube. I'm going to try to figure out TikTok. If you have any advice for me about TikTok, let me know. And you can go follow me there. It's just Heidi Hope on TikTok. So thanks for being here today. Thanks for saying hi, commenting, like, share, and let me know if you try the exercise this month and what your results are. I'm excited to talk more in my membership group about it and see if anybody has any crazy results. And pretty soon, as soon as it occurs, I'll be sharing the first chapter that I wrote and how it all came true. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.